Okay, next lesson is called Complete the Square. When we're finish this unit and you see all the methods, this method is not usually one of the more practical ones, but you need to understand it just for the process of completing the square, which is similar to the process that we did in Unit 1 when we were graphing quadratics. Okay, so here's example 1. Okay, so first step is to get rid of this last number, or the C term. I'm going to leave a spot here. So if we get rid of it, we would add it, right? Okay, now, do you remember this? We had a blank in Unit 1. We took half of this, and then we squared that number. So half of this is 2. 2 squared is 4. And that's what we put on the blank. But that upset my teeter-totter, so I'm going to also add 4 on that side. Now, this is my perfect trinomial that will turn into a binomial squared. So x plus 2 squared would end up giving me that, right? This number is always half of that, square root of that, equals 17. Okay, now we would square root algebraically first. I'm trying to get this x alone. So square rooting and square just cancels that. Now, do you remember that that's a plus or minus? Okay, and then the last step to get x alone would be to subtract 2. So you have 2 solutions. You could write it out like this. Okay, or I'm fine with you writing me this. Oops, I need a subtract sign in there. Sorry, I made an error there. That's a subtract sign. Okay, so either way, you could write 2 separate solutions or just show me like that, meaning that there's 2 solutions. Okay, let's look at another example. This would be when your a is not 1. Okay, so 4x squared. Okay, so same first step, get rid of the 15. Okay, now this second step, I'm going to divide everything by 4 because I want to get a 1x squared. So I get x squared minus 4x. Now I'm going to have a blank equals, what is 15 divided by 4 is 3.75. Or you could leave that as 15 quarters, doesn't matter. Okay, now, oh, I gave you the same one, divide by 2, square it, which is 4, which means I need to teeter-totter it. Now, remember the trinomial, you want to make it a perfect binomial squared. So this needs to be x minus 2 to square to that, right? Double square equals 7.75. I'm going to square root, get rid of that. X minus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 7.75. And now to isolate x, I would add 2. So x equals plus 7.75 plus 2, or negative root 7.75 plus 2. There's your 2 answers. Okay, please make sure when you are writing this that you don't. Okay, so let's say you had 15/4. Okay, that would be the proper way of writing it. Here would be some errors that I could find. Okay, because you're square rooting this whole number, not just the 15. Okay, so make sure that your square root is communicated properly to me and that you don't have something like this either. Right? So this is wrong and this is wrong.